The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of Cylons on the fracking walls, guys. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Battlestar Galactica, Season 1, Episode 2, Water. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. We're talking Battlestar Galactica. I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds. Matt Vader's here. What's up, dude?
Hi.
Saltiest motherfucker I know.
That's saltiest you know. I'm trying to get situated.
Yeah, I got you. It's all good.
He's so bajiggity today.
Jude.
Bajiggity.
Bajiggity.
Hello.
Speaking of bajiggity, Jude is also here. What's up?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Love your red glasses.
Thank you.
They're fire today. I don't know. They're
my
different.
goodness. They're not different.
They look different. Hardest working nerd on the planet. Matthew Kadish is also here. What's up, dude?
Not much. Looking forward to talking about this episode because this is where we get into the whole, like, if you're a Cylon, do you know you're a Cylon stuff? So this should be a fun discussion.
Right on. All right, guys. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the show, go watch it. It's on, what, Peacock or something like that? It's on one of those streaming services.
Peacock.
This is the first watch for me, so that's why I have to put that out there. But we're going to be spoiling the crap, breaking down this episode. So, yeah. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you want to support what we do here, go to saltynerd.com/DC and download a mobile game called Dragon Champions. It's a really fun game. The developers support us as a podcast, and we want to return the favor. So make sure you type in the promo code SALTY to get access to our stuff. We get special access to a character, some gold to help you along your way. And when you reach level 20, you can then join our Salty Nerd Podcast Guild, which is ran by one of our patrons, JT. Those guys are super active, and our chat in our Discord for Dragon Champions is posting all kinds of updates, guild wars, and new codes to get extra stuff. It's really, really fun over there. So if you want to join that community, make sure you take advantage of that. Don't forget to type in SALTY in that promo code area for Dragon Champions.
I'm glad you said something because I forgot we had a raid start.
It's raid time.
Yeah, raid time.
It's raid time.
Starting very soon as we speak.
I'm going to do that right now.
10 a.m. bitch raiding time.
All right. Battlestar Galactica, Episode 2 of Season 1, called Water. Jude, whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right, sir. Battlestar Galactica, Season 1, Episode 2, Water. Boomer wakes up sopping wet with a bomb in her duffel bag. She changes out of her wet clothes and tries to put the bomb back into the small arms safe, only to discover she's missing memory for the entire evening, and there are 6 other bombs missing from the safe.
Right off the bat, I had a hard time deciphering what the heck was going on.
Okay.
I'm like, she's soaking wet. Why is she wet? And also, because I'm new to this whole thing, I'm like, is she the one that was with the guy on the planet? Is this a different one? Because it's the same.
It's the same model.
Person, same
Different.
model.
Same model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we both have Toyotas.
Yeah.
They're not the same
Mine
Toyota.
runs better than yours, though.
She's Boomer 70.23.
Yeah.
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 The other one's 70.28.
Yeah. But as soon as she walked into the small arms closet and she was like, oh shit, they're all missing. I was like, oh, she like relapsed or something. Like the Cylon in her took over and went and planted a bunch of bombs. So like
Programming.
Yeah. Immediately I figured out what was going on.
And did you figure out later why she was wet?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I did.
You're doing okay then.
I put the dots together, guys. Yeah, I figured that one out. It was, it's cool. It's a good way to start. You know, it's got a little bit of a mystery together, but it's not like so overly complicated that you have to wait till the end of the episode to figure it out. You're kind of like along for the ride. So I appreciated that. But any other comments on that part, guys? I feel like I'm the only one talking.
It's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Oh, well, I was stupid then because I was like, what's going on, guys?
She's all wet. She doesn't know where she is, and she's got
Bombs.
detonators.
Yeah.
And plastique.
Skynet took over.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like the stinger that leads into, you know, the show's opening credits is that, you know, she goes to put back this detonator and she thinks like, oh, it's a missing detonator. And then when you see how many others are missing, you're like, oh crap. And then it goes like, dun, 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 dun. It goes into the opening credits. And one of the funny things about the show is that every opening credit sequence is different. Like they have like their kind of standard beginning of the opening credits, and then they actually cut in clips from the episode you're about to watch in the opening credits, which in a way like is so much more intriguing than like how most TV shows do it, because you're sitting there and you're watching all the images flash before you and you're just like, ooh, Ooh, wait, that happens? Ooh, what's happening?
I completely disagree. I feel like it spoiled the whole episode for me.
Really?
Yeah. Like I was watching that, and it just came on just now, but it literally shows a scene where the side of the ship blows up and all the water comes out. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess
Sci-fi was
Yeah, I don't
being
like that
experimental.
I hate that. I hope does that happen every episode?
Well,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
skip the intro.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip the intro because I did not like that because I was like able to put together pretty much what the whole episode was gonna be about in like 10 seconds.
When we were watching Buck Rogers did that too. It would give you like a 2-minute synopsis of everything that was going to happen in the episode, and I was like, no, I want to be surprised.
All right, let's keep going, Drew. Go ahead.
All right. Colonel Ty wakes up with some problems of his own. He's running out of booze. Apollo is still dealing with the decision to destroy the Olympic carrier, possibly killing over 1,000 people. He asks his father for advice, and Commander Adama tells him, "That's old shit. We got new problems today." President Roslin is preparing to board Galactica. She's real tired of all the pomp and circumstance involved, but doesn't want to ruffle Adama's feathers by suggesting they do away with it. Apollo informs her that his father hates the fanfare as well, but rolls out the red carpet for her as a way of honoring her, and Boomer goes to Chief panicking about the missing time and bombs.
One podcast, 2 podcasts.
Yeah, 100%.
Guys, we only have 3 podcasts worth of booze left.
Oh, and that's just one.
We got more booze over there.
that was a hilarious scene because
Yeah.
like Ty is just so dependent upon alcohol, and he's sitting there. He's like, how many fingers alcohol do I have
Totally
left?
related to him.
He's like drawing on the freaking.
He's rationing out his whiskey.
How much can I get away with and still do my job? And also, how long can I stretch this out?
Yeah, I have a feeling like this show is going to go through the motion of like, what if he has to go cold turkey and it like really messes him up? Does that happen later?
Not really, because they figure out how to make their own booze.
Oh, of course they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, wouldn't we? Think about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we'd have frick.
What can we
Moonshine City.
cook?
I know how to make mead.
Yeah. I saw this TikTok the other day using a pumpkin, and you hollow it out, and then you fill it with sugar, and then you reseal it with wax, and then you let it sit for a month, and hopefully it doesn't explode, and then inside it turns into wine.
Oh,
Wow.
that sounds awful.
Yeah, pumpkin fermented pumpkin guts.
No, that's like some Dark Ages shit.
Well,
right
then
there.
you filter it out.
Grow some mushrooms, throw it in there. You got yourself a freaking tripping balls on mushrooms.
No, this is the 2022, man, not 1280.
So one of the parts I really liked about this episode, and pretty much every episode, is the Adama Roslin stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I found really interesting is like, so this is episode number 2. And episode number 1, 33, we didn't have a lot of like downtime to like explore character relationships and stuff like that. So in this episode, basically we get Rosalind saying like, oh, I hate all this pomp and circumstance. I wish I could just visit and take care of what I need to take care of and then leave. And Adama feels the exact same way, but he wants her to feel like she's the president. And so like all this ceremonial stuff that he's doing is really for her benefit, even though like he doesn't like it either. Mm-hmm. And it takes Lee to be like the bridge between Adama and Roslin, mm-hmm. to have Roslin, because she doesn't know anything about the military.
Right.
And so like she's like when Lee tells her, you know, my dad actually doesn't like this stuff either. Maybe you two should get together and work out a way where like you don't need it. Yeah. Something like that. And this actually leads to a great scene later on in the episode. But I just love how like Adama and Roslin are constantly like frenemies in a way. Like mm-hmm. they have to work together and they're all going towards the same goal, but like they don't necessarily like trust each other. And another thing in your synopsis here is that we get introduced to this idea that Boomer and I forget the head.
Chief
Tyrol.
Chief Tyrol are actually romantically linked.
Yeah.
And that has big ramifications throughout the entire series, actually.
Yeah.
I was going to say, in this episode alone, he's a complete bonehead.
Yeah.
Because he's getting some of that, you know?
She's like, I would never do anything. And he's like, baby, I know. I'm going to
baby.
take care of
It's
you.
all good.
And they think it's a secret. That's the funny part.
Yeah,
And
everyone knows they're
everybody
sleeping
knows.
together.
Callie's all,
yeah.
oh, there they go in the room again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just in the utility closet.
Pretending to fight. We have to both walk into the closet to have this fight.
Yeah. All right, Jude, take it away.
Adama shows Rosalind the water recycling program and proudly states that the fleet has enough water for several years, but that the other ships in the fleet will have to replenish through hooking up to the Galactica stores. Chief thinks Boomer was drugged and set up by a Cylon spy, and while they try to figure out what to do about it, they feel a tremor go through the ship. While performing routine water maintenance, 5 tanks explode, expelling 60% of the fleet's water into space.
I feel like Boomer needs to just own up to this shit, man. Like, I don't know.
Well, she's a Cylon.
Well, she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't remember anything that happened.
Yeah. I guess she can't because I guess like it goes against her programming.
She's a robot, man.
Yeah. So I guess I have to give her a little bit of a leeway with that one. But her boyfriend definitely should have been like, okay, worst case scenario, you're under somebody else's control. We need to remove you from the scenario.
Her boyfriend's all like, hey, man, you got roofied and are getting set up.
Yeah, but then he like lets her go off and do her
Well, he doesn't have a
job.
He doesn't think she's
She outranks
guilty.
him.
But this begs the question: is Tyrol just following his programming?
freaking walls, man.
You don't know who's a Cylon.
Yeah,
There are a couple
yeah.
other models out there where
Yeah,
it's,
we
it's
have
like,
not been introduced to all of the Cylons yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It would be really convenient if they're both Cylons and both of them don't know it.
Yeah.
That'd be a bit much.
Brother, you got no idea. What's going on.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is everybody a Cylon?
everyone's a Cylon.
Oh, no.
No one's above suspicion.
Unless
but
otherwise proved.
I found it interesting that like they were talking about Galactica's water recycling systems, because that is a big deal. Like if you're going to be in space for an extended period of time, you need a way to like recycle the water and make it last. And so like, you know, going into the fleet, you know, trying to survive, it's like, oh, we got the water thing taken care of, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah. And then this is one of those things that I had a question about last week because I'm like getting introduced to this world and I'm like, how does this work? How does that work? And this episode, like you guys said, literally spells everything out. We have water reserves for a few years and we have a recycling system that's like 98% effective. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it blows up and we're like, shit.
Yeah.
I was in the watch party with a couple of the guys, and I was like, oh, now Salty's going to start doing math.
How many gallons do they need per ship?
Well, it's funny because later on in the episode, they actually do the math with Gaius Baltar,
Yeah.
and he's like, here's how much food we need, here's how much water we
That's a
need.
lot.
And they're like, is that per month? He's like,
no,
oh,
that's
that's
per
per week.
For 45,000 people, I think he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they have to start telling people you got a ration, they're like, people
There's-
are going to go berserk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they would have, I mean, we'll get to it in a minute, but I kind of wish they would have showed that a little bit more because they talk about it like there's fights going on about water
Wait till the
already.
next episode.
Oh, okay. All right. Every question I have is answered? Is that what's
Did we
happening?
not tell you this already?
Pretty much.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Shows are such bullshit these
This
days.
one is not.
All right,
This one's actually well written. And
I'm getting that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
getting
this was
that.
from a bygone era where writers actually thought things through and
can't
make
wait
sure
for you
everything
to-
made sense.
These aren't Marvel television, Disney, Lucasfilm bullshit.
I don't want to talk about Falcon Winter Soldier.
Don't forget to text the pilot. That what was that bit? Check your phone real quick.
Hang on, shit's about to happen.
This isn't the Rings of Power.
XXOO emoji.
I haven't watched that
Oh
show.
yeah, when Falcon like
Trash.
texted one
Yeah.
of the hostages.
Yeah, there's a hostage in the back of a helicopter. This is an old school reference. Go back and watch our review of that show. But my goodness, man.
Don't watch the
Don't
show.
watch the show.
There's no swimming in space in this show.
No.
All right.
Invasion. Man, we watched some bogus TV shows. All right, Jude, take it
Ready?
away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chief's team is sent into the tanks to see how they ruptured, and Boomer, in her ship, provides light from outside. They both already know what happened to the tanks, but not who did it, and are scrambling to cover any evidence that Boomer could be involved.
This pissed me off so much. I was like, why are you covering this
Yeah.
up?
And they're speaking in code in front
Oh,
of everyone, and everyone's
dude.
like, "You guys are speaking real weird at each
Oh
other."
my-
Don't worry about my team.
Yeah.
We've got this handled, Boomer. Thanks, Chief. I feel better knowing you're on it. And like Crash down in the
Yeah.
back is giving her the side
The-
eye, like,
yeah.
the fuck?
Fucking Star Killer's in the back of the seat going, he like pokes his head around the corner. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Star Killer.
Yeah.
This is why you don't fuck where you work, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's never a secret.
Thank God none of us are sleeping together.
No. Won't ever cause a problem.
Never happened. Never happened.
It's like, Kadish, control your woman. My God. No, I
Dude,
can't.
control your man. My God.
That is the more conversation that we have.
What the fuck is going on over there?
We said less content this month.
Jesus.
But I do like how, so after the water tanks rupture, nobody really knows like how it happened. And the initial assumption is that, Galactica is just old and something broke. They're not thinking about sabotage. And then like once Callie finds that little device, they're like, something's up here.
Oh my God, he tries to gaslight her so hard too. She's like, "Hey, this looks burned."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know.
Looks
looks
like rust to
rusted
me." What a bullshit.
Callie, you're kind of shit at your job. You thought that would fucking women.
It was so bogus. Like she picks up this like charred piece
It's,
of
like,
melted
still
metal.
smoking.
She's like, looks like an explosion. He's like, nah.
Too hard to tell. And she's like, "No, I can
tell."
I'm looking at it. I can tell." He's like,
you guys are being
it's
really-
too hard to tell.
I feel like you guys are being really hard on the chief.
He's being a douchebag this episode, man. Pissed me off.
He's in love.
He makes a lot of mistakes.
I can see that. You think we should go easy on him?
I don't know. Maybe
Because he's getting his dick wet, like
I don't know.
with a robot?
Would you do anything different?
with robot vag?
Would you? Do, he doesn't know. Her vag feels the same as a regular vag. All right.
Hey, don't misgender the robots.
Jeez.
Like you did yesterday with a dragon.
Oh yeah. Vagar. I'm like, that's a dope ass male dragon. Everybody's like, no, it's not.
Yeah. Thank you for that. By the way,
Matt Vagar, 74.
At
I
Vagar.
have different pronouns than Vagar does. Okay.
All right,
He
Jim.
exhales. Smoke comes out of his nostrils when he's pissed off.
Still accurate. Yeah, for sure. All right, Jim, take it away.
All right. Adama gives instruction to start searching their current location for any planets with water to replenish what they lost and estimate the fleet has 2 days before they start running out.
I love that they did this because I feel like it's accurate. It's probably not. I should have checked with Professor Target on
At
this.
least they're addressing it.
At least
Yeah.
they're addressing it. Like, hey, we have to go find new water.
Well, of course they do.
Either gas, frozen, or otherwise, we have to go search the surrounding area for something.
I feel like the numbers didn't make sense in retrospect because they were like, we're good for years. And then they lost a little over half. And then they're like, we're good for 2 days.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe.
Well,
Just gonna say.
Well,
that. Yeah.
Galactica was good, but the fleet wasn't. So like there were like a number of ships that didn't have like any type of like water recycle system that would need to refill with Galactica. And so, losing 60% of their water, they're draining that remaining 40% just to like, keep these ships that don't have their own water system alive.
Yeah.
So
Unless you're one of those 1% assholes on the luxury liner. Like
The president.
No, not like the president.
And I don't know if this happened yet or not, but there's another attention to detail. There's a scene where the general guy, Adamas? Adama. Thanks. Hooked on phonics worked for me. He's like going to the bathroom and he's going to go wash his hands and he stops himself. He's like, ugh. And then he just like goes and wipes his hand off with a towel or something like that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
I thought it was interesting too that before this happens, they're talking about like how no water gets wasted because it's all recycled. That was very Dune for me, like the Fremen.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I also like their analogies in the scene where basically Adama's like, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, and Ty's like, fuck that. It's like looking for a grain of salt on the beach.
Yeah.
Because, space is pretty barren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of empty nothingness in space. And
It's the final frontier.
yeah. But I don't know. It'd be cool if they would have like stumbled across an asteroid field just full of like frozen asteroids, Be kind of cool. Like, we'll just go pick one of those ice cubes
How
up. And
convenient that
melt
would
it.
be.
Well, it kind of reminds me of The Expanse because the very first episode of that series, the main character is basically on the main character is basically on a asteroid mining ship where they go out and they basically mine for water because they have all these like satellite colonies throughout the solar system that can't produce their own water. So like they need to like mine water and ship it into other places. And they go to those asteroid belts and they just find like frozen water on those asteroids and
start mining it out and
Yep.
shipping it out. It's cool. I like it. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Chief briefs the higher-ups that the tanks were sabotaged, but says they have no way of knowing who took the detonators. After clearing the room, Adama states there's at least one Cylon on the ship and they must be found. Baltar is tasked with creating a test to screen the crew and passengers for Cylons, and Number 6 arrives in the hot tub of his head to distract him and taunt him. Baltar spins a bunch of science bullshit, and Adama's like, that's too much science talk for my brain, and assigns Gata to help him create the test.
I hate this guy so much.
Baltar?
Oh,
Yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
I know, but I do. And it's
Yeah.
like so
Then they're doing
frustrating.
their job.
You're going to be
He's like-
frustrated for a while.
He's over there again with his wet dreams. He's over there. He's in a meeting, a staff meeting among the higher ups of the whole thing, and they're trying to figure out how to solve this problem. And he's over there getting his freaking dick sucked by his imagination, and he's just like,
He's not doing any of those things.
"Oh my god! Sorry, I'm in a meeting."
She's literally talking to him, taunting him, making him feel like an asshole, and that's not getting his dick sucked. That's not what's happening.
That's what it feels like to Alex.
No, she's like touching his face, and he's like, I know in his imagination she's there,
She's
and he's
literally
looking at
going,
her.
"Wow, you're a real fucking asshole."
Oh, yeah.
Look what you did to your people. What are you gonna do now?
Do you remember the
Are
first
gonna
time
do
you
some other
lied
shit?
to a woman, Gaius?
Mhm.
What did he say?
It's like, oh, whip your dick out so I can suck it. That's not what's happening.
He's getting all sweaty and wet over there, though. It's weird.
Well, putting Gaius aside for a moment, the scene where basically Chief Tyrol sits there and informs the leadership that this was sabotage, and Adama's just like, okay, everyone who's not need to know, leave.
Yeah.
And then like it becomes very real, and they start talking about like like what are we gonna do if we have like a Cylon on board the ship?
And they think no one knows that the Cylons look like us, but it's a rumor rampant throughout the fleet. Like everyone knows.
Yeah, and what's the one guy say? It's like, well, it's a rumor. It's not confirmed. As
Yeah.
soon as it's confirmed, it's going to be all bets are off.
But I mean, Adama knows,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Rosalind knows for sure.
But they don't think anybody else outside that room knows.
Well, no, because they said everybody in the room knows, and then 3 Marines.
Yeah.
I don't know who the 3 Marines are. Are
No.
they main characters in this show?
No.
Okay. So there's 3 people that are not accounted for in this meeting.
Those people already told everybody.
They already told
Yeah.
everybody. 100%. They got drunk, played poker, and was like, you could be a friggin' Cylon.
There's Cylons in the fucking walls. They're the fucking walls.
But it is funny because Baltar in the miniseries, the way he was able to frame that guy was he was able to say like, I have a way of determining who's like a Cylon.
Yeah, he bullshitted his way through
Yeah,
it.
and so like now that comes back and they're like, so we have a saboteur on board, Dr. Baltar. Can you use your Cylon detection system to find him? And he's like, oh well, it's very complicated. I need all this other stuff.
Science and
Yeah.
tools
Sciencey,
and
science.
ingredients and
And the one. Exactly. Thank you, Jude.
that's for you, buddy.
But he basically like BS's his way through it, and Adama's just like, look, you'll have whatever you need.
Yeah.
Just tell
And then they give
Lieutenant
him,
Gata.
they give him an assistant too, and he's like, God damn it. And then
Yeah.
like his little imaginary girlfriend is like, you're fucked.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you have a friend.
Yeah.
But before that, we also had the scene where Gaius goes through like all like how much food the fleet's going to need, how much water it's going to need, and stuff like that. And I thought that was really interesting because it's a lot, and everyone's just like listening to him spout off these numbers. They're like, so like we need to get that much every month. And he's like, no, that's for every week.
All right, guys, if you want access to the entire episode, head over to saltynerdclub.com and support us there. It's only $5 a month that you guys get access to podcasts just like this every single month. 5 of them, or 4, depends on how many weeks are in the month. But if you break it down, it's like $1 an episode. Not too bad. Head over there, help support us there at the podcast. And we have many other perks for our club members. They get Discord access for their special chat room. We do trivia, watch parties, all kinds of really cool stuff. And here in the near future, we might be doing some one-on-one live streams with our club members as well. That's in the works. So we would love to have you join that community. saltynerdclub.com is the place to be. Head there and help support us. All right, Matt Vagar, where can they find you on the socials, bud?
Quit calling me that. I mean it.
That's a badass dragon.
Sorry. You can find me at Matt Vader74 on the Twitters and the YouTubes and the socials things stuff. Yeah.
Perfect.
Out there.
All right. Jude.
You can find me doing myself. You can find me at I am Jude Juju on the socials.
All right. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter. KadishBooks.com takes you to our Amazon page. And if you want the full Monty, everything that we've talked about over the course of like a year, many different TV shows, be sure to sign up for the members area. It's a really good value. And it's basically you get a exclusive episode every week.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you for watching this video. If you are already a club member, Let's go.